There are a lot of ways that anybody can integrate career concepts, whether or not they're an engineer themselves. The biggest one is by making really, really clear the connections between the hands-on activity and potential careers that are related to that.
So we get to take apart hair dryers today. In the industry, they actually do take things apart, and they call it competitive benchmarking. So they will take competitors' products apart to see how they designed it. So you get to figure out, when you take it apart, you get to figure out how a hairdryer works, which is actually pretty cool. As engineers, we are curious people. We love to understand and figure out how things work.
There's one like over here. I don't know if like this necessarily turns. Oh, this is made out of the same material as the filter thing, so it probably prevents the heat from like getting too much.
Today, we're going to talk more about chemistry and science and even how researchers work. And I want us to, kind of change gears and think of yourself as research scientists today.
When you tell a girl specifically, today you are going to be an engineer, it really makes them feel like, okay, this is no longer just an after-school fun activity. This is real. And you really kind of empower them to imagine themselves in that role.
As a scientist, you want to keep your materials organized so that you know what ingredients are going in test number 1, what ingredients are going in test number 2.
In today's activity, I tried to harness the activity by sprinkling it with, this is what a research scientist would do. So when they were making comments and observations about the reaction, to let them know this is really what happens in the workplace. They'll have a lab notebook. You need to write down your observations and your results to let them see that this is really applicable. It's not just some fun after-school activity.
What did you guys do? Yours looks good.
Let me see yours.
You know what they think that was for?
I'm thinking it must be like part of the glue, like the glue in the cornstarch.
There's also a lot of career-specific activities, things like icebreakers or games, where the girls are learning specific things about certain careers. So we are going to start with an icebreaker as always. This is a game we've played before. Put yourself on the line. That side is strongly agree. This side is strongly disagree. If you're somewhere in the middle, you put yourself somewhere in the middle. A lot of times we use icebreakers to sort of prime them for what the main activity will be. So today I had them thinking about a car, something very familiar to them, and sort of starting to think about the fact that multiple engineers might work on the same project. I want everyone to imagine a car, okay? I can name one thing that a mechanical engineer does involving a car. Kara, what's one thing a mechanical engineer might do with a car?
Maybe something with transmission?
When you're running an after-school program, there's lots of ways that you can incorporate careers. You can tell the girls all about it, you can show girls pictures, but when a real engineer comes into the room, it makes everything they've been doing real.
I work for Chevron, and Chevron, believe it or not, we have lots of inventions. So then you ask, okay, why do you need to know about science and engineering as a patent lawyer? Well, when they start talking, these are like PhD organic chemists, and when they start talking about chemistry, I need to have some familiarity with what they're discussing. And so to be a patent attorney, you have to have a degree in science and engineering. If you're going to draft patent applications and you're going to go back and forth to patent offices around the world, you need to have that science and engineering background. It is important to introduce girls to science and technology and engineering and mathematics, to STEM courses, because they need to know that they can actually be scientists.
It's not always possible to bring an engineer into every single program. So there's a lot of ways that you can get girls learning about real women in these fields. You can use bios that you find online. You can show videos of women in the workplace. There are so many web resources that have profiles of female engineers. Have the girls try to think about how this role model might connect to the activity they're doing today. You can also bring girls on field trips to workplaces where they can see women in the field doing their job.
So we finished everything, and I heard one young lady over here. Please describe what you did for your invention in the ball.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could get it bouncier, so I dipped about 1/4 of it in the borax solution and then rolled it around in my hand, and it got back to where it was.
That was great, and that's what being a scientist is all about. is to try different things. So I think it's important to really harness that so that the girls can know that this level of curiosity and excitement actually takes place day to day in the workplace with people who are doing research all the time, from balls to, digital phones to solar panels, that all across the spectrum of science engineering, that this curiosity is in place.